Welcome back to Charles Eoghan Experience.
Welcome back. We are back
Good
once again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Great. What a treat.
I went to South Africa. Been away.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was great.
I haven't really asked much about it. You didn't get robbed at gunpoint?
No.
What a waste of time.
Because I didn't go to Joburg. Joburg is the more dangerous territory of South Africa. It was in Cape Town.
Yeah.
It was a great time. Holidaying, sightseeing, swimming. Swimming's cold. It's like...
Sharks?
No, didn't see any sharks. 11-degree water. It was cold.
There are a lot of sharks there, aren't they?
Yeah, great whites. They'll
Could have been
fucking
eaten.
kill you.
Yeah.
They'll fucking
Fuck you up, man.
You don't believe they'll fucking kill you.
Those guys are savage.
Yep. No, it was a good trip. Went to trained once at Agrestis.
Nice.
Great gym. Shout out Agrestis, Cape Town. Good coach. Guys are down at her black belt.
Yeah.
Good quality coaching there.
Renzo.
Yeah, Renzo. Lifted weights a few times. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, very good.
See, it was hot.
Huh?
It was hot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not crazy hot, like 25,
Yeah, that's good though.
20 to 30 degrees. Sun's
time
out
of
though.
year.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Sun's
you know what?
out.
10 days away. Fucking amazing. Feels like I was away for like a month.
Sun's out, guns out
All that.
in Johannesburg.
All that. Cape Town.
Yeah, so.
Same thing. What's going on with you? How have you been?
Good. I've been doing my usual training and teaching. You know, standard, nothing exceptional.
Yep.
What else? I'm going to Leicester next week, and then the week after I'm going to France.
En français.
Yeah, français for a seminar.
See the grandparent? Oh, just seminar.
Yeah, to do a seminar in Toulouse.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
You speak French. You perform the seminar in French.
I will not perform it in French. I'll
Right.
perform it in English.
Got it.
I think I could probably list all the words I need, but
Just in
not
case.
not fast enough. Yeah,
Just in case.
yeah, just in case I'm sat there clawing it. You know, strings. Yeah.
Clawing for words.
Yeah.
Français, look. Look. What's been working for you? You've been training some stuff?
I've been doing some legs.
I'm going to cut you off real quick. Guys, just remember, this is the first time we've ever remembered. If
that.
you'd like the podcast, make sure you rate, subscribe, go to YouTube. Do it right now as we're speaking. Press follow. If you're on Spotify, rate the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe. It's going to be plenty more. The more you subscribe, the more you rate this podcast. Check out the show notes, support the podcast. You know, you get it. But do that now if you're listening. It's easy to do. Just rate us.
Also, send in your questions on the stories 24 hours before the podcast
Yep.
if you want your question answered.
Yep. Well, that's that. There we go. That's that out of the way. We'll say it again in the end. But anyway, let's continue. What have you been working on?
So me, I've been doing legs. I've been trying to go back to a bit more loose passing. Just spent ages on the tight passing. Spent a good 6-7 months on that. So gonna now go back to loose passing and try and, mesh the two together.
Loose passing from, as in like, that's from the outside?
Yeah, just going around the outside, trying to get angle and then tie them out. And then once I've got that strategy going, then I get better openings to go for the tight passing. So yeah, and it's actually a lot easier. I mean, it's not easier, but it's definitely less taxing on top to just skate around the outside and push people's knees away from the chest rather than just going into half guard. Sometimes you've got to use too much upper body strength.
Yeah.
So yeah, been going back to that. And then on the bottom, I've been entering the legs, just getting sharp on the legs.
What a surprise.
And then and also going for the back. And then I've been enjoying my wrestling, working on my foot sweeps again, my judo throws, which I stopped doing for a while because I kept injuring people, but now I'm back.
Back injuring
It's
people.
time to injure people again with a horrible haragoshi
Oh,
to
shit.
the kneecap.
Do you reckon you hit a Haragashi on me today at open mat?
Yeah, if you play your cards right.
I don't think you'll get it.
If you play your cards right.
You won't get it.
Maybe. He'll get it.
What do you think of Giancarlo Pedro Mourinho match?
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it?
Why?
So, I thought Giancarlo would have a much easier time, but to be fair, I've only watched it once, front to end.
Yeah.
And from what I got, it just seemed that Pedro was just masterfully stalling from top position.
Being heavy. Just pushing him, just being on it.
Yeah, just keeping his weight grounded under him all the time.
Yeah. Not letting him
Not
move.
committing any weight. So it's not like Giancarlo was getting tired for that reason. He was probably getting tired mentally from how boring it was. or tired from like trying to off balance him the whole time, but he wasn't getting tired from getting leaned on.
Yeah.
And the wrestling, well, it was good at the start, but then when it got sweaty, I feel like it favoured Pedro Mourinho's more
It's got more
explosive and
he's pretty much tire kicking his legs.
yeah, creative style.
The foot sweep at the end.
Yeah. The foot,
That's a big tire kick.
foot sweep. Yeah, that's allowed though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just kick the leg out if it's there, but he didn't even manage. So that was some good balance from Giancarlo, to be fair.
Yep.
But yeah, I did a competition as well, alpha grappling.
You fucked him up.
Yeah, we had a good. So good points is that it was
Everyone beat everyone by submission.
It was an easy competition. Bad points.
What happened?
The platform was dangerous.
It looked fucking dangerous. Why did they elevate it?
It was an elevated platform, and the mats didn't fully cover the platform.
Oh my God.
Also the mats on the edge of the platform, which were like the buffer zone, were sliding. So were you to wrestle and push off those mats,
You would fall.
you would fall. Yeah, which happened to Silvio and his other guy. They kept falling off the mat, and eventually Silvio just held onto him and brought him back to the mat in a body lock.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the referee didn't know the rules either.
Oh my
Even though
God.
he was co-owner of the event, he didn't know the rules. So he's getting swayed by the Drake guys, the Ashley Williams guys, and just giving extra points. And then when Silvio took the guy off the mat in a body lock, he kind of said to reset, and then Silvio just ignored him, and then he just allowed it. All right, then I'm not splitting Silvio's grip. This random man isn't, and poor Harrison wasn't either. So yeah, that was entertaining. Belly down, face choke. The guy honestly looked at Silvio like he spat on his mum just from hand fighting him. Just collar ties and underhooks and just dragging his head down to the floor.
Yeah.
After like 3 minutes, I feel like the guy realized how tiring it was fighting Silvio and how he's about to lose on this terrible stage. And he looked so angry.
Wow.
Yeah. And then my fights, I had 2 fights, mostly just
Submissions.
me just butt scooting towards
You had 2 subs.
2 subs. Yeah, light work.
There you go.
Basically, yeah.
Well, that's them.
Yeah.
Well done on the match.
Thanks. That was so great. What an intense day of competition.
Let's get into some questions.
We've got many questions.
Reverse K guard.
All right, reverse K guard.
What about him?
It's just K guard with the leg on the other side of your body.
That was the question.
That was the question.
What is reverse
reverse K guard? Normally K guard, you go for the outside. Reverse K guard, you've already inverted and you've passed the leg over to the opposite side. Kind of like you're attacking a knee bar or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's just having the leg on the opposite side. It's just another option.
You like reverse K guard.
I like all legs.
Anything to do with leg entries.
Yeah, all legs are equal to me.
Oh, but there we go.
That's it. Reverse K guard, just the foot on the other side. Johnny's got some good stuff on that. So I hears.
Yeah.
Natty or not, we've done that.
Was it for you? Are you natty or not?
Yeah. I think that.
Answer them.
It was
Obviously not.
obviously I love the juice. Should we actually answer it? Yeah.
Eoghan's natty.
Natty, yeah. Leg entries versus sweeps. So it's kind of the same thing. You use the leg entries to get the sweeps. I guess the question was more about like when does it look like a sweep and when does it just look like a leg entry to a takedown? I would say if someone's good, you're not just gonna sweep them like a tripod sweep or something and come up. There's gonna be like,
You need to off balance them in a certain way or get them to commit their weight somewhere.
yeah. You off balance them, then you enter a bit, then you off balance them again, then you enter a bit, and then maybe you control 2 legs and sit them to their butt. And then there's a bit of leg pummeling, and if you win the leg pummeling, then maybe you can stand up with a good like wrestling scramble, basically.
Yeah.
Actual sweeps tend to be if the guy's like on their knees and you manage to get their weight forward into their hands and then take their hands away from them. That's when the sweep kind of looks like a sweep, rather than just looking like them getting tipped over and then you coming on top with a wrestle up.
Yeah. It's a good strategy, though. Try and set people up for leg entries and then try and take the sweep or try and off balance them to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically, you go for legs and then people sit to their ass and like scoot away and kick you in the butt with 2 legs.
And you can stand up.
So shout out our guy, Less Impressed, More Involved, with his video. I actually watched it yesterday. But
Sure head Jake.
yeah, shout out that guy.
He'll watch this.
He'll watch. He gets it. He put up one about like if they're stood, you need to be off balancing them to get their hands to the floor and to basically pummel your legs quicker. And if they're sat down, their legs are light, so they'll be pummeling their legs quicker. So it's better if you stand up, basically.
If they're on their butt, you stand up. If they're
on their back, their legs are light, so you stand up. And if they're stood up, their legs are heavy, so you got to pummel your legs
to get their hands on the floor.
To get their hands busy with off balances, then pummel your legs till you can get to backside or get them sat to a hip.
Yeah,
and then you can finish. There we go. There it is. That's the answer. Right, wait.
So simple.
It's simple. Ways to annoy people in a role. Oh, there's so many ways.
People who annoy you. Shut that sound. What
a lovely sode that was. All right, anyway. How to annoy people. So I would say the most annoying, like any good troll, it shouldn't have any benefit to you. Right. Then that's actually not just annoying them, that's actually improving your position, which could be forgiven, you know?
Yeah.
But if it's purely to annoy people, then it has to have no benefit to you whatsoever.
It has to be neutral for you.
Yeah, neutral. Yeah, it could even be bad for you.
No, because then that's not the job. Because then if it's bad for you, it's good for them.
But it could be bad for you at the behest of them. So it could be you wasting more energy just to make you waste even more energy.
Yeah, got it.
So that would be acceptable as well, but not something where you're improving and they're just getting worse, because that's just normal jiu-jitsu, I guess.
So that's the key concept of annoying people.
Yeah, I think when it comes to actually annoying them mentally, not just like physically tiring them out or just doing good jiu-jitsu, if you actually want someone to hate you, it has to have no benefit to yourself whatsoever, and you need to violate that way rather than in a way that benefits you.
Go on.
How do you do that? Let's say just doing stuff like I'm just pulling on someone's head, let's say like a can opener from close guard.
Yeah.
Just
holding their neck.
It's not gonna sub anyone good. It's just gonna annoy them, and it's gonna tire you out probably more than it tires them out, but it'll annoy them in that they don't have a choice whether or not to be there. Yeah, whether or not to be there, whereas you can let go whenever you want. Other options would be
counter if it's like you're standing up or you're just pulling their head and
just pulling their head. Yeah, or like let me think, just like repeatedly butterfly sweeping people without coming to top position.
Just sweep them, stay on the floor.
Yeah, just sweep them and wait for them to come back up, or I don't know, like in the mount. But then again, that's getting close to a sub. But let's say getting to submission points, but without subbing people, like dark rooming them it's not that annoying though, because it's more like
it's more suffering on their behalf.
Yeah, it's more suffering. It's not really annoyance like that.
You're getting them closer to tapping, because they can tap the dark room.
Yeah, and annoyance is more like they could prevent it or they could stop it, but they'd have to waste like too much energy for them to make it worth it. So they're getting annoyed in the dilemma. And the fact that you're doing it to them.
You've obviously contemplated this.
I've been doing it for ages. If I see someone's getting annoyed, I will make sure to spend the rest of the round stalling and annoying them. That's another one. Just stall if you want to piss someone off. Like honestly, if you could be winning and you're just wasting both of your times, there's nothing more annoying than that. Like just wasting someone's time. It's not even to do with jiu-jitsu anymore. It's just you're just wasting their time.
Waste their time.
Yeah, just waste their time. 1 for 1. Your time for their time. That's how it's done.
But you waste more of their energy than your own energy.
Not even necessarily. It's maybe like relative to them. So let's say like per calorie output, I'm probably wasting more calories, but I have more to give.
Yeah,
let's say for them,
you've got more in the tank.
It's a big portion of their calories getting wasted. Yeah, that's what you got to think. So I would say easier to annoy smaller people. If it's bigger people, you've got to be way more tactical in how you annoy them, like denying grips and actually being really good at jiu-jitsu as well as all this other stuff.
But they've got more danger. They're more dangerous, right?
Yeah, they're just going to control you, so you can't really annoy them. Unfortunately, yeah, you can't be getting controlled. Cool. So that was a great question.
That's a great question.
Maybe my best of all time.
That's great. So good.
Best way to expose heel hook from cross ashi. So I would recommend watching Jason Rao stuff or buying my DVD.
Okay.
Because it's not just like,
It's not.
we can talk about it, but what would be the point? You won't get it.
We can talk about it. We can get a video up underneath.
We could get a video. All right, cool. Well, I like to get the shotgun grip to stop them putting their foot flat on the floor. So try and avoid them from putting their foot flat on the floor, because then they can build height into it. And then they can like load weight into their front leg until they're ready to load it into their back leg and extract their front leg. So they like load weight forward, their leg's safe, they can hand fight and use all 3 of their other limbs whilst basing on their front limb. And then once they have you in a compromised position, they can either look for a counter or they can just look to take weight off that leg and extract their front leg.
Got it.
So yeah, so basically you have to keep their front leg off the floor. So if they ever do put weight into it, like if they're getting deeper in or they're giving you their second leg or something like that, but you can't just let them control your legs and put weight on their front leg. So I would say get a shotgun grip and then try and force them to turn, to get a heel, to hide their heel, and then you can spin the other way to get their heel, or you can try and take top position and get the back, or you can threaten to come up, and then as they push back into you, you can go back to your heel hook. But yeah, I would say check Jason Rao stuff and my DVD. Jason Howe, yeah.
Jason Howe. Sorry,
What a man.
Give me 1 sec. I just realized Baby Hippo may be downstairs.
Ooh.
Continue talking.
Young Hippo.
Jason Rao. You trained with Jason Rao, didn't you?
Yeah, trained with Jason Rao. Yeah, that was... Bro, he almost broke my arm.
Very good, yeah?
Yeah, very good. And he's very like... I say he almost broke my arm. He was a pretty safe roll. Like, he wasn't going nuts, so...
Yeah.
That was good. And obviously neither was I because I'm visiting. But yeah, he was very good. And the stuff he was showing was all nice, key details. I'd love to go train there for like an extended period of time.
Where was it? Boston?
Nah, this was in New York, Long Island. They also have a guy there who they call Gay Mike.
Gay Mike?
Yeah, everyone calls him Gay Mike. I mean...
You'd assume he's gay.
He is gay. After all, he is gay. Yeah, I was like, damn, do they actually call him that because he's gay or because he's not gay?
Yeah.
But yeah, it turns out because he's gay.
And he's very good.
Seems not to mind it. Anyway, yeah, he was fucking good. Yeah, yeah. He got me with an Aoki lock. Yeah.
Shout out Gay Mike.
Yeah.
Wow.
He calls it the Eoqueen lock.
He loves them.
Yeah, he loves it. So yeah, he was fucking good.
Yeah.
And there was a couple other guys as well who were good. Whose name I can't remember, but yeah, there were some good guys there as well.
Sweet.
So yeah, I'd love to go train there. Now they've got that Nick Ronan as well. Tasty.
Who?
Nick Ronan.
Is he very good?
Yeah, he's good as well.
Damn.
I would like to train there. So yeah, Exposing Heel. Check out Jason Rao stuff, my DVD, or just
Shotgun grips.
Yeah, shotgun grip is basically your best bet, and also just using.
What's cross-side ashi? That's
just anytime you have the leg on across your body. So
right.
I think they're referring to either 50-50 or saddle.
Got it.
Yeah, so saddle or 50-50 or basically anything where it's across your body.
Oh, got it now. So
Yeah.
shotgun grips are good.
Yeah, shotgun grips are good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, got to think of it.
Lifting up the knee.
Yeah. Got to think of it more as like saddle or like cross ashi would be one of the many tools that you use to get the job done.
Right.
Like if you don't have the shotgun grip, or if they're turning before you get a chance to get the shotgun grip, then you need to think about like inverting to try and switch to double 50 or something like that. Like you can't just stay in saddle and expect to finish people. You're going to have to do lots of leg shuffling and switching between outside and inside heel hooks. It doesn't just work on its own.
Yeah, there needs to be a sequence of events to get the hill.
Yeah, you got to combine the moves better, basically. Yeah.
You're not just going to get the fucking hill.
Nah, it won't. Even if you have perfect techers, you need to combine the moves well to make them, because there's always going to be like, let's say 10% of like looseness in your moves or whatever. So you got to just combine one move with another move so you get really deep into your second move. Otherwise, you're just chasing and getting more tired each time rather than like catching people out.
There we go.
Right, that's the answer. Popping legs in sparring.
Oh, you see that?
I saw that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this
that
was
crazy.
Yeah, I watched that.
That was intense.
I mean, you know what? If you're applying it slowly, okay. Now let's first say if you're a black belt and you're sparring someone you know is a moron, then you have some responsibility not to break their leg. Like you have to keep them safe from themselves.
Yeah.
But if it's another guy who's like a competitor and they're just like, you're just applying the submission slowly and you're waiting for them to tap and they don't tap and it pops, like you might be to blame as well, but honestly, it's there.
They're both black belts?
Yeah.
Well, then they should both, and they both train at B team, so they both know leg locks, right? Obviously
Not specifically the B team thing. This is more a general question, right?
Okay.
I feel like the other guy was not a black belt.
Right.
I don't think so anyway. Maybe black belt level, but I don't know. Anyway.
Back to the concept of the...
But yeah. You can't just not tap and expect people not to just pop your shit because some people are flexible.
Yeah. And they don't know whether it's on or not. They're like,
yeah, exactly. Well, even if you know it's on, it's like, well... That's when you tap. That's how the sport goes. Like, if you're just letting your shit pop.
What did he pop there? He tore his MCL or broke his knee. What happened?
Yeah, he popped his knee outwards. I guess it's an MCL. It was like valgus pressure on the knee with a straight leg. Looked like a side knee bar. Yeah.
It looks so painful.
Yeah.
Gee, and loud.
Also the shame.
Loud too. The shame, yeah.
Yeah, the shame.
He was talking it up big.
His misogyny followed by his slap of reality.
So good.
So good. Fuck. So good.
Oh, so good. It's not good to see though. Realistically, it's never good to see someone
I normally click off when I know it's about to happen. Like I don't want to actually see the motion. But yeah, if it's training and someone's not tapping and you're applying it slowly, that's the key though. If you just apply it slowly and you're looking at them.
She didn't look that aggressive, like she didn't put it on crazy hard or anything.
No. She said she knew it would break though, didn't she, in a post interview? She said she knew it was going to go.
Well then, yeah.
Well, yeah, then he should have tapped.
It was an in-house competition. Yeah.
He should have tapped. I mean, it's your responsibility to keep yourself safe at all times.
Keep yourself safe at all times. There we go.
Yeah, protect yourself at all times. I actually thought of that so much whilst I was sparring. Protect yourself at all times, like...
Has to be, right?
It's your job not to get injured, really.
Yeah.
Like, literally,
especially in a competition environment. Everyone's there to fucking compete.
Yeah. Protect yourself at all times, especially against white belts.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Octopus
guard counter. See, I don't think it's that easy. Like, it's probably
what is octopus guard?
Octopus guard is when, like, you're on your side and you reach under their armpit and grab their lat, and then you can, like, build up into them. You can basically do like a seesaw motion to get them pushing back into you. Then you can either reverse them, or you can come up and like try and wrestle and take their back and stuff. So I don't think it's one counter that's going to work very well. But from what I've seen, it's very hard to do on bigger people. You can't really get them rocking forwards and backwards enough that it's worth your energy. So you end up just getting tired and then you get crushed in the same position. It's also pretty high risk, like... because you're exposing your back to try and get a bit of back exposure on them. So I guess if you're
do you risk the bolo at that point, or you risk just getting your back taken? Simple.
It's kind of it's the upper back exposed.
Guard, they're in that position there.
Yeah, and they like reach behind your lat and they grab your far lat.
Got it.
Yeah. So you don't risk. Yeah, you kind of risk a bolo. I guess bolo is just rolling, but bolo is normally like you use the bolo to get the upper body grips, but here the upper body grips are basically available. So the best counters I see are people just cross facing early and not letting them build up,
pinning them.
Yeah, if you do get to the reverse dogfight position where you're both facing the opposite way and grabbing each other's lat, then it's whoever
turns around the fastest.
Yeah, and whoever builds height the fastest will have the like better knee position so they can spin around to their partner's back.
Right.
So yeah, it's basically that. Try and build height. Try and get a cross face early. Those are the two easiest. And then also you got to like direct your weight correctly so you're leaning weight onto their posting arm.
Yeah.
Basically, it's up in the... If you're on the bottom and you go octopus guard, you're forcing the person on top to like work to keep you on the floor. They can't just chill anymore. They have to like drive into you. And that's why, like, if you've got better cardio than someone or you're more efficient than them, it's probably a good shout to do that to tire someone out.
Yeah. Gas them.
Yeah, just to gas them. Yeah, just up the ante.
Yep.
Nice. Like the octopus guard.
I want to watch Craig Jones just stand up. The concept of power ride, the pinning one.
Yeah.
Have you watched that? Is it good?
I've watched bits of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually downloaded it yet. Soon.
But just pinning people. Key detail.
Yeah, just pinning. I've been pinning people, but then it's different when they're like bigger than you or whatever, you know.
Because they can always just use strength to spaz now.
Yeah, you just get less time to practice the stuff and like, they use strength. There you go. Using strength is fine. Like you can expect it. I'm just saying it's hard to practice on stronger people and like really you don't have trouble pinning smaller people. It's pinning bigger people that is the issue.
Yeah.
So like actually doing it on massive people
Sandros.
who are good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard. It's sad.
He's hard to pin.
Sandro. Yeah, I mean, he just turtles, so.
Yeah, he just goes to his knees.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he's hard to pin. That's fair. Like, it's hard to keep him back flat on the floor.
Yeah.
I guess you could though, but let's say you get him in mount, he'll just turn
Just give his back.
belly down. Yeah.
Yeah. And just stand up.
Crazy, brother. Yeah, and he'll just stand
Get
up.
the turtle and then start standing up.
Yeah. Basically, he'll just try and go single leg and stand up.
Yeah.
Which is fair. That's the strategy.
It's a big unit.
People do that in Kazakhstan. That's where he's from, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
That was crazy.
Somewhere around there.
Okay, guard top. The guard passing, / top.
Guard meta.
Guard
will
fasting
Will
/
guard ever
top,
be great
yeah.
again?
Will guard ever be great again?
All you play is guard, bro. What's this guy asking?
Yeah, because the new thing is to always be on top and wrestle and all this kind of
Oh,
stuff.
pressure
but,
J point, this and that.
yeah, but that's just a fad, in my opinion.
Just because that's what Gordon is doing, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to get really good at wrestling and guard passing. Meanwhile, someone else will get really good at leg locks. Like, look at Diego Pato. He'll just get ridiculously good at... I mean, he's also good at the other stuff.
Shazinski.
Yeah, and then what? You're going to... He'll just pull guard, and then we're back where we started like 10 years ago.
People just leg locking the fuck out of
Just
everyone.
Yeah, just back to leg locks. Like, if all you need is a really dangerous guard to win jiu-jitsu competitions. But if you're a top player, you also need to wrestle. So it's much more easy to be just a bottom player. But on the other hand, if you want to win via points on bottom and not submission, then you also need to wrestle.
Yes.
So it's
a dilemma.
It's a dilemma. Yeah, either way you look at it. But the thing is, on bottom, it's easier to shoot for subs with low risk than on top.
Yeah.
If you aim for subs on top, you're more likely to give up the points and have to wrestle. Whereas if you're on bottom, just attacking the legs, guard retention is like the same. You can equate that to staying on top. And I would say it's easier to retain guard than it is to stay on top without your partner standing up as well.
What do you think the key details are to having an excellent guard?
Probably like, well, first, you have to be flexible. Let's not pretend. You have to be flexible and be
Flexible.
flexible. And be able to bring your knees to your chest like really tight. So
And
if you're
fast
fat,
too.
you have a bad guard if you're fat.
Yeah.
So you have to be flexible, like good hip mobility. You have to be experienced and like expect what people are going to do. You have to be very aware of all the passes that are coming your way. Like if it's the first time you've seen a pass, most likely you're not going to react in a like as they're reacting. Yeah. Or at least in the correct timing, so you just get tired and eventually you get caught out.
Got it.
Also, like sussing out your opponent. Sometimes if they're being negative, then a good guard would comprise of being like way more open. But then if it's like a Nicky Rod, you might be better off just being like
Very
quite
closed.
compact, as compact as possible, and then waiting for him to lean on you a bit before you get anything going. Because then if you start to reach for him, then he'll just like club your head or something, and blast to a body lock. Then you're having a bad time. In terms of defending the body lock, like part of that is just, again, knees to chest as hard as you can, but also strength and timing your butterfly sweeps. Also like half wrestling up and then pulling guard again. So yeah, if you get body locked, I feel like that's like the worst nightmare for a guard player. Because like you basically lose a lot of your offense like instantly. You can play like reverse Z guard, but again, you lose a lot of your offense immediately. And
energy too.
And exactly, and you risk more if you start to do like the reverse Z guard and all this kind of stuff. You risk a bit more back exposure and risk them getting the pass a bit more than just trying to recover the standard way from half guard. So yeah, what else? Just be good at leg locks. If you don't have any leg locks and someone's standing passing, you're just not going to do anything to them.
There's no threat.
Yeah, there's no threat. You can try and off balance them and collect the second leg, but essentially there's no threat if you don't have have leg locks from bottom. Yeah, like I guess you could just go straight to wrestling up as well, but then if you're a wrestler, you may as well just
Wrestle from the feet.
May as well just wrestle. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good point. So, what makes a good guard? Having good leg locks.
Yeah.
Good flexibility. Bringing the knees to chest quickly.
Yeah, recognition of the passes.
Recognition of passes.
Yeah, probably the most important is recognizing the passes to keep your guard retention.
Yeah.
I would say that. Yeah, recognizing the passes, number one.
Watch a lot of jiu-jitsu. Figure out all the passes.
Yeah.
All the passes that are available.
Yeah. Yeah, spar with a variety of people as well.
Yeah.
Go to different gyms and try.
How dare you?
Different people.
How could I
Come
leave
to my gym?
How could I leave my gym? That's not loyal to my gym.
You could.
We've spoken about this a lot in
You
previous
could check
pods.
it though.
Huh?
You could check it though. Just check another gym out.
Just check it out.
See what it's like.
Just gonna check it out.
Just pay a monthly membership.
Yeah.
Cancel your old one. Kiss the ring.
You got open mat today.
We got open mat today.
I'll be there.
2:30 to 4 p.m.
Yep.
Every Sunday. Dentist. O'Clock.
2:30.
Yeah. Okay. Combat jits. Have we done this before? I can't remember, but
we did on during Cartel Pod. Or we did it on Mark McQueen Pod. One of
what
those
would be
ones.
my strategy for it? That was the question. What would be your strategy? I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Fucking make sure you get your seatbelt off before they get theirs off, and just try to be really
No,
heavy.
combat jits, not car jits.
Oh, sorry. We haven't talked about combat jits. Stay on top and fucking slap them in the face as hard as you can.
What if it's a alpha male team, whatever,
Big units.
and they're good at wrestling, and you know you're gonna get taken down?
Can you slap from the?
You can't slap from standing.
Oh,
You have to be ground
just try and wrestle as much as possible.
and just lose.
What? Oh,
They're better at wrestling.
they're better at wrestling.
They're better at wrestling.
Could you pull off leg locks quick enough without getting absolutely smashed in the face?
Not with consistency.
So the thing, it's completely different. It's like borderline MMA. It seems like a really stupid sport in my opinion. Just do MMA. Just do MMA.
I mean, it is like a nice in-between jiu-jitsu and MMA.
But just do MMA.
Because it gets you aware of the timing. When you're like scooping for legs and stuff, it just takes like a millisecond to get slapped in the face really hard. So
Or in the nose, you break your nose.
Yeah, palm strike to the face. That's rooting.
Fuck
Or that fella Damian Anderson who KO'd that guy from doing legs. He was already in the leg lock as well.
Yeah.
He was in the leg lock, and
He's just getting smashed to the face.
not actively off balancing, bro. You're getting Gary Tonnond. You're getting absolutely fucked in the head. So for me,
what would your strategy be?
I would not even attempt leg locks. It would be a whole different game, really. I might go for leg locks like in between something else, but there would be no like open guard, put it that way. If it was open guard, I'm back to standing up and like making them work to wrestle me down.
Yeah.
Not necessarily wasting too much of my energy in the wrestling, but make them work to wrestle me down. And then in bottom, it would just have to be like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, like overhook and
keep him in tight. Classic jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah. Classic Jiu-Jitsu.
Classic jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, keep him in tight. Otherwise, it's just going to be a fucking... You just don't want to get punched in the face. But it's going to happen in combat jits.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get slapped 1 or 2 times, even if like...
Just do MMA, man. Like, if that's... Yeah.
True that.
Just do MMA. MMA is probably more fun. You can kick. You've got way more tools available.
Yeah, hear that. You can up kick.
Yeah.
I don't think you can up kick in combat jiu-jitsu.
Well, you can't kick, can you?
You should be allowed to kick.
Start leg kicking the fuck out of people.
Yeah, you should be able to kick in combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I did MMA for a bit. It was fun.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about this before.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah.
So that you did a couple fights, didn't you? 1 fight, was it? Or a couple?
5.
5, yeah. I thought it was Muay Thai.
5 amateur. I had 2 Muay Thai.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
5 AMI MMA.
Yeah.
He said you won by...
Decisions.
Oh, I thought you were on a submission.
Oh, I did win by submission, actually. I got an armbar. Yeah.
Very nice.
I got second one, got an armbar. This guy came crazy at me. And I just took him down, got an armbar.
Windmilling.
Yeah.
Swinging handbags.
I was like, he was a big unit. I was like, oh my God.
Swinging a
double
purse.
leg. He had no idea what he was doing once I got on top. Armbarred
Did
him.
he shit himself? Did you see that video?
Yeah. What happened?
Some guy shit himself.
In the ring.
Yeah. Got taken down, some super fat pub man.
And he just starts shitting.
Looks like it's north of England. And then
He just starts
and
shitting.
you just see shit on the mat, and then you see shit like falling down his leg and
Oh
everything.
my God.
Yeah, millions of views. Millions of views. Immortalized.
Stop the fight.
Barry
Stop
the
the
man that
fight.
shat himself
I'll tap to that.
in the ring. To be fair, if you get punched in the stomach hard enough and you
have diarrhea at the time.
you had a
A fucking steak and kidney pie before you go out there.
yeah, exactly, yeah. An old steak and kidney pie or like
Yeah.
a particularly greasy curry. It's game over, bro. Your MMA career.
Well, there we go.
Finito.
Can you get good at BJJ in 3 to 5 years? I guess he's talking about very good, top quality level.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously you can.
Yeah, I think so.
Shout out Mark McQueen.
Yeah. There you go. Shout out Mark McQueen. Shout out Eddie Cummings. Shout out.
Well, Eddie Cummings was a fucking little protege, was he?
Yeah, he was. Took him like 6 years, I would say, but he was like literally the best in the world.
Wow.
At legs, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was like an obsessive 3 to 5 years. It's probably like the kind of thing where if you have a normal job, it's not going to happen.
No.
It's got to be like you've got some money banked up, or you've got some way that you can,
train full time.
Yeah, train full time and all this kind of stuff. And you have to have a good coach. You can't just probably if you wing it, unless you're really disciplined with how you learn, it's not going to go as well.
Listen to the podcast that we did with there's Owen has no BJJ coach. I can't remember what episode. If you just scroll down to Spotify or YouTube, you'll see it, and you can see how Owen has become very good with no coach. But
didn't take 3 to 5 years though.
To like 10 years, 15 years. But he also did judo as a kid.
Yeah.
Years of martial arts experience.
Yeah, many years.
Years.
But I guess all the kid stuff is just you learn balance and movement and like proprioception or whatever, but you don't learn techniques like you think you learn techniques.
Getting closer to the mic.
Like, put it this way. You might have like a savage throw when you're a child, but they don't teach you setups to the throw. They just get you to rep it like 1,000 times so you can do it at the touch of a button.
Yeah.
So all the learning you do when you're an idiot is just basically a waste of time. Like, let's say first white to blue or purple belt. Let's say blue belt. Maybe even before that. White to like orange or green belt was just spazzing, bro.
Which kid is tougher? Which kid is fucking stronger?
I was just spazzing. I was just running around trying to get stack pass as hard as possible. With like infinite cardio.
Yeah.
Just running and stacking the legs. That was it. So I would say I got tougher and I avoided getting injured too badly. But basically, you have to actually learn jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so back to the question, can you get good at jiu-jitsu in 3 to 5 years? I mean, obviously you can because all the blueprints is there. But it's your application to learn and also the coaching environment. Yeah. I think you need to be in a really good coaching environment and you just need to fucking be consistent. Because the biggest thing is just going to be your consistency and also how fast you learn things. So it's your discipline to go home, do the fucking homework and
not get injured.
Yeah, exactly.
You've only got 3 years. If you get one ACL injury,
you're out.
You've got 2/3 worse. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Literally. So, yeah.
Well, let's say someone goes to Danaher or New Wave or something.
Yeah.
First of all, they won't take you on if you're a beginner. But let's say you've got like a year, a year of experience and you just show up there fucking 7 days a week, 3 times a day, 2 times a day, and you're obsessed and money's no option. You get fucking good in 5 years.
Yeah, of course. There are white belts that I know that are training like twice a day. Every day they just started and they feel good. They feel like a good round. Like it's not nothing comes easy just because they're training 2 or 3 times a day. Like you've got to be some kind of like, let's say, give yourself a bit like 6 months leeway. But if you're doing anything 2 to 3 times a day for 6 months,
you're gonna fucking get good at it.
Yeah, if you're not good at it, or at least like respectably good at it, or just not a complete retard by the end of 6 months. So if you are a complete retard by the end of 6 months, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
you should quit. All right.
Fair play.
Is it impractical to become shredded? This is one of your people, Charles. You answer it.
There has to be more to this question.
Is it impractical to become shredded?
No, there's more to this question, surely. Let's look it up. Let's look this up. Yeah, look. Is it impractical to become shredded for someone who wants to avoid calorie counting?
Oh, yeah.
From Mason Fowler. No, Fowler was the last name. Can you get shredded without calorie counting? Yes, you can. But you need to have a good understanding of your calorie intake, how much you're exercising, and I just say like good awareness of your body and your energy levels. Basically, to become shredded, you want to have a good amount of muscle mass to begin with, so some good training experience. And then you just need to reduce the amount of calories that you're currently eating. That can either be done by exercising more or eating less. So an easy way that I would say to people who don't want to do calorie counting, I'd be like, let's say Owen comes to me and be like, okay, I want to lose some body fat, but I don't want a calorie count. Cool. Let's reduce your portion sizes down by each meal by 15 to 20%. Do that for 2 weeks and let's see what happens. If you've lost weight, we'll continue that trajectory. And we'll keep doing that until you stop losing weight.
Yeah.
There you go. And then if you stop losing weight, then you go, okay, cool. Reduce it by another 15%, making sure that the protein stays high. So it's easier to count. Just fucking
count something.
Just count the calories.
You're either counting to 20% or you're counting calories.
There is going to be some sort of counting. So eyeballing your calories.
If you can't count.
If you can't portion, like counting's easier, right? It's just, it just requires a little bit more discipline at the start by downloading MyFitnessPal and tracking everything for a 2-week period so you have a good understanding. Or you're just looking at portion sizes and being like, okay, here's the problem. If you're not tracking, you don't know how much protein is in things. Protein is an important fundamental to understand because it's going to help you retain muscle mass whilst you're losing fat, which is going to help you stay shredded. If you just reduce all your portion sizes and cut the protein down, you're not going to be as shredded. You're just going to lose weight because you're not doing your best to retain muscle mass. And also, you can like factor in, right, if you know what your macros are, you could just reduce your fat to the lowest, to like the minimal effective dose that you need of fat and still maintain a high amount of carbohydrates and maintain a good maintenance of protein. Whereas people will just go, oh, I'm just going to keep fat really high and then reduce carbohydrates. It's like, well, now you have less energy to train with, so now you feel fucked. Whereas you need carbohydrates to train, reduce fat more because that's not going to play as big a role as your training energy. Your body's not going to utilize that as much for training. So reduce the fats first, keep carbohydrates high, and keep the protein at minimal effective dose to retain muscle mass, so like 1.7 to 2 grams per kilogram of your body weight. Again, to answer your question, it's much easier to do that if you fucking track your calories.
Yeah.
By just reducing portion sizes, sure, but you don't have the exact amount and you may be fucking yourself.
So it is impractical.
Yep.
All right then.
Let's say that. It's impractical.
That is the answer to that question. How to train Gi Judo effectively.
Oh, Christian Ozbek. If only he was here.
Yeah, if only he was here, he could jump in on the mic and give us his 2 cents on how to train Gi Judo effectively. I think you need to do some actual Gi Judo first of all. Yeah.
Be a black belt.
Actually, no, you don't. No, you don't. Why would I even say that? No, you don't. It's going to relate, but it's not going to relate as much as just doing it directly in Nogi. Watch Satoshi Ishii's instructional.
Oh, he's the big Japanese fella.
Yeah.
He's a fucking savage.
Yeah, he's I haven't even watched it, but I imagine it's good. I would say
he's like a gold, like 2-time gold medalist Olympian, isn't he?
Yeah. Is he? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I know. I could be lying. Let's say he is.
Let's tie it into the next thing. Foot sweep timing. So a lot of the judo throws, like the forward throws, i.e. the ones that go behind you, oddly enough, you need them to push into you. You need them to like drive towards you whilst you have some sort of dominant grips or some sort of grips. You need momentum basically.
So you can send them.
Yeah, momentum is needed to send people. And foot sweeps, you need like the weight shifting between the 2 legs. So times that happens most, like with the easiest timing, is when people are spinning to face you. So if you get an angle on someone, like literally you go from, let's say 12 o'clock relative to them to like 3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, even 3, even 4. Then
that's a big angle change.
You're basically
if you go from 12 to 4,
yeah,
you're like almost like at the back of their fucking head.
Yeah. If you're past 90 degrees at 4 p.m. So
they're getting sent.
Yeah, as they spin back, there's going to be all of that like
movement,
centrifugal
so it's going to be
force.
Like 1, 2, bang.
And then you kick their legs together, they will go flying. So, but you also need to fuck with their timing of their steps. So you can do that by pulling their head down and up. Yeah. So if someone's being pushed down, they can't spin as fast, and they increase their power in their legs to spin faster. And then if you release that pull, they start to move faster, and you kick their legs together whilst they're already turning, giving you the angle. That's how you can get the foot sweeps. So you get your angle, then literally any sort of bob down and assuming they circle to face you and lift up at the same time, that's basically all you need to get the foot sweep.
Yeah.
And then you might need some sort of pull just to actually pull them closer to you so you're not foot sweeping them like far away where you can't chase them.
Got it. We're seeing a big rise in foot sweeps in Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah. Again, I think it's just people practicing all the same stuff at the same time.
You've just said, bobbing, pushing, making a move, you getting angles.
But it's just because everyone's doing wrestling now.
Yeah.
I feel like foot sweeps were always a thing, but at least in wrestling or in like MMA wrestling, yeah. I think if you watch MMA matches, you'll probably get a better like view of what the jiu-jitsu is going to be like in a couple of years' time.
Think so?
Yeah, at least the wrestling, like what? Because the MMA wrestling is much more applicable to jiu-jitsu rules than wrestling. You know, because it's
not just going to be a bunch of collar ties.
Yeah, true. To be fair, they don't do collar ties in MMA.
No, because you're just getting clinched, you're going to get kneed in the face, or you're going to go for a knee and get fucking double legged to hell.
But yeah, from the clinch and in the scrambles, the MMA stuff is actually better. Yeah, that's true. But then from freestyle wrestling, the hand fighting is more applicable. Yeah, nice, cool. But yeah, sorry, the judo throws in MMA, they're good to watch, I think.
Yeah, because it's all about like pulling someone's weight forward and also controlling their arm and then shifting the hips and not even I guess Islam's got some good hip throws, getting at people up against the cage. He just drags the arm and just throws the leg through.
Great foot sweeps, judo throws as well. Yeah. Also, he's just good at both, and it's all from the clinch as well.
Yeah.
So that's why it's interesting. Whereas like a lot of the guys will just go, let's say there's leg attacks, like double legs and single legs. A lot of the like art of hand fighting and setting them up is kind of lost in, or it's changed to shoot boxing and MMA, where you use the strikes to set up the leg attacks rather than using the hand fighting and the upper body pressure to set up the leg attacks. So, yeah, it might be better to watch MMA for judo throws if you want to study that sort of stuff. Cool. Great. What brand of Tong Ali do you use?
I can't remember. Nature's Best, Nature's Way. I'll put it in the show notes.
Nature's Valley. Valley.
Fadogia Agrestis. That was the one.
Oh yeah.
Fadogia Agrestis, not acid. That was for the staff. That's for the bigger balls enhancement. Yeah. Been using Tong Ali and Fadogia Agrestis. It's great. Why would you not use them?
Your balls might get too big.
I could so be him.
Some men like that.
Some
in the changing room.
Game like some. Yeah.
Balls got huge.
Yeah, no, I like it. I race it.
Have you felt more powerful since you started Tong Ali?
No. I don't know. I say I like it. I sleep pretty well.
Yeah.
I feel pretty recovered. Feel pretty restored.
That's something.
I mean, it's gonna work. It's been proven to work. I know it's worked? I don't know because I haven't done my bloods. It would have been a smarter idea to do my bloods before and do my bloods now. Then you could be like, oh, this clearly works.
Yeah.
I guess I feel good. I sleep well.
It's hard to compare feeling fairly though, isn't it?
You can't because there's so many variables too. Yeah. I got 10 days of sun. That's great.
I feel good. Tong Ali.
Yeah.
Strong hips.
Again, this is your half question. What was it saying?
It was like, how do you get strong hips? That was the question.
You want to squat? This is
my thinking.
I've got a big post coming out about squatting. What is the best squat for you, and how to choose? Many people fuck up on their squats. So you'll see people squat like. The most common squat you'll see, especially if you looking on Instagram, is the back squat. You've got exceptional hip mobility and ankle mobility.
Dorsiflexion.
Any squat we get you to do is going to be great because you can get your hip crease below your knees, which means you get into deep hip flexion. So for strong hips, you want to get the concept of the movement is deep hip flexion. Your hip crease goes below your knee crease. So it's achieving a full squat. Many people will fuck up the squat because if they just put a bar on their back, they may not be know how to stabilize the bar, pulling it down and across the shoulders, creating a strong like shelf position. Or they'll just fuck up the squat as they're going down because of the movement mechanics. Maybe the hips are too tight, the ankles are too tight. They can't actually get down, so everything gets compressed up or down the chain. So recently, and I was shitting on Zercher squats for a while, but like I've got a new outlook on it. It's like the lowest bar to entry squat. People are like, oh, the Zercher squat, it's got a great transference effect to jiu-jitsu. It's going to help you. Fuck that. That's all bullshit. What a Zercher squat, or it's called an anterior loaded squat. So whether it's a front squat, a goblet squat, anything where the weight is in front of you, it helps you keep a more upright position, which is easier to get into deep hip flexion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you can achieve deep hip flexion in a more upright position safely with better movement mechanics, you can load that more efficiently, and the more weight you can put on the bar and move efficiently, the stronger you're going to get. That's why things like Zercher squats, front squats, goblet squats are getting more and more popular amongst, you'll start seeing that amongst like combat athletes and people talking about Zerchers and this and that. There's no fucking magic specialty in doing this exercise. It's just that it's easier to do than a back squat for most people.
What about picking up like heavy rocks and that sort of stuff?
to be fair, that's gonna make that is gonna make you strong. Like you're picking up fucking heavy shit. The issue is it's unquantifiable, right? How heavy was the rock? Can you do it again? Can you progressively overload it over time? You can, but like it's a bit more.
What if you don't know how many sets and reps you're doing?
I see where you're going with this. When you train, you want measurable and repeatable results.
No, you don't.
The workouts want to be more measurable and repeatable. If you're following people and they're showing you random exercises each week, or this is the best grip exercise, you should try this for an unquantifiable amount of times, or doing mace exercises or whatever. I'm not particularly shitting
just
on
doing one rep.
Just doing one rep of something.
There's nothing wrong with that, to be fair.
Like, it just needs to be fucking simple. And this is the thing, like with online programming, like I have an online programming business, and what I've like a big like thought for me, and this is why I took a fucking 10-day holiday so I could just think about what I actually want to do and how to make my business more successful, is most people will fuck up exercises. That's just a fact. Especially for online coaching, because a coach isn't there, and most people need coaching around a back squat. So you need to think about, okay, what is the lowest bar for entry where I can get someone to squat really well and heavy weights so they can move well, so they can be more consistent with the program to get a good result. The Zercher squat is fantastic because it's literally the easiest fucking squat you can do. You just hold the bar in the elbow crease and you squat. It keeps you upright and allows you to get a deep hip flexion. Same for the goblet squat. You hold a fucking dumbbell here and you squat. If you can't squat with the dumbbell, you just elevate the heels. Again, it's going to keep you more upright. So to answer your question, how do you create strong hips? Get a really fucking good squat and learn how to squat into deep hip flexion. You've got deadlift variations as well. Obviously, learn how to fucking deadlift properly. Just start with the trap bar. If you don't know how to deadlift, look up some trap bar videos. That's the easiest, lowest bar to entry.
I feel like Zercher squats have a lot of core necessary.
Yeah, big time.
Like huge amount more than the usual.
Yeah, because it's loaded in front. Same for front squats. Anything that is going to be loaded anteriorly, loaded at the front, it's going to require you to stay more upright, which is going to have a more effect on the core.
Bracing for me. When I used to do it, I felt like the bracing was the hardest bit of all. Yeah, more than the actual legs.
Yeah, it's going to hit your abs more. It's going to hit your quads more. It's going to hit the glutes, as long as you're getting deep hip flexion. So it's more on the quads, good amount in the glutes, and a good amount in the core and the upper back. So it can help create like your upper back's going to be working hard because you got to keep it up nice and upright. That's not to say you can start with a rounded back as well, because you can also do fairly rounded back Zerchers and achieve deep hip flexion and be fucking strong in that position.
What's the difference between a Zercher squat and a Zercher deadlift? Is it just that you literally just put it on the floor between each?
A Zercher deadlift starts from like a much lower position, and it's a hinge movement. So you're like, let's say you've got a nice sumo stance and you've got to go all the way down. So you've pushed your hips back into a hinged position.
Okay.
Which means it's going to work the erectors and it's going to be basically working the back a lot more.
So it's that your shoulders are down rather than up.
Yeah, your shoulders are down rather. You're not in an upright position. It's a hinged position. Your hips are going to do a lot of work as opposed to, and hamstrings too. As opposed to in the squat, your hamstrings are going into a shortened position. They'll lengthen again, but they're not going to get hit as much as a deadlift position because they don't have there's no hinge motion in the squat.
We should crack some of those out.
Zercher deadlifts. I'm not a big fan.
180 kilos.
Yeah. Shout out to that judo fella.
Captain John Jane.
Yeah.
Trains.
Strong as fuck. I mean, fair play.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, strong hips. Just don't overcomplicate things. You can squat twice a week. You can deadlift once a week. Why deadlift once a week? Because usually you can deadlift fucking heavy stuff. That's pretty taxing. So actually, here's another point on the Zercher squat. Not particularly Zercher, but squats that are loaded in the front of you, so anterior. So again, we've got goblet squat, front squat, Zerchers. They require less axial loading. Axial loading is downward pressure of the spine. So if you think about back squatting, the bar is on your back, yeah? And if you hold it well, you're pulling it down across the shoulders. If you're proficient in back squats, you're going to be that's going to be a position where you can lift the heaviest weight possible, and you can fucking cane it on there. Although it's very taxing, particularly on the back, because it's a heavy fucking weight that you're holding on your back. Whereas when you load the weight in front, it's less axial loading, downwards compression on the spine because it's in front of you and you can just basically drop it at any time. It doesn't beat you up as much. So if you have a program, let's say you've got a busy jiu-jitsu schedule or wrestling schedule, whatever sport you play, and it beats you up a lot, particularly around the lower back, then a front-loaded squat may be a better choice for you because it's going to beat you up less than heavy back squats.
Nice.
So strong hips, keep it fucking simple. Learn how to squat, deep hip flexion, do some deadlifts, and do some single leg exercises.
And I guess also being flexible, probably going to help there.
Yeah.
With the strength, or the perceived strength.
Yeah, so that's a good question. How do you get good flexibility? Loaded deep hip flexion exercises. Yeah. So get really good at squatting.
Yeah.
Get really good at like front leg elevated split squats. That's going to help increase your hip flexion. Also strong adductors, having really strong adductors. So we're actually going to get back into Copenhagen side planks.
Nice.
And like crushing blocks between our legs as like nice warm-ups.
Nice. Blocks.
Strong. Well, it's like a little warm-up exercise. Get a block. Squeeze it as hard as you can for 30 seconds.
Nice.
Because the adductors work hard when you're
Break
squatting.
It in half.
Yeah. I hope this audio is good. These microphones are pissing me off. Yours is good.
Mine is good. Yours is a bit...
See what I mean? Mine is not loud. I have to speak this loud into the microphone for it to be the same. Speak normally.
Okay, that wasn't...
Anyway, I'm going to get someone to come have a look this week. So hopefully
get the security guard back up. Sir.
All right, let's carry on.
So I keep getting my head wrapped in a guillotine whilst I come up for an underhook in half guard. What do I do?
Stop taking the fucking underhook in the half guard, man.
You have to have better head position, bro. And also you have to shrug your shoulders every time they go for your gilly.
Yeah.
Basically, glue your head to them properly. That's all. Glue your head to them properly.
Ear on their fucking chest.
Not even necessarily ear, but just put your forehead right under their chin and keep connection between your head and their chest. Like, if your head is here, there's no guillotine. If your head is here,
there's guillotine.
There is guillotine, yeah. Gotta be very careful when you're doing it. And to be fair, some people you just don't take that underhook. Sometimes you don't do them.
If you know they've got a good guillotine,
just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just think of something else. Use more jiu-jitsu. Not just sit up in half guard because you're strong. Yeah? Yeah? How about that? Use a butterfly hook.
Well, they're going to land.
Piece of shit.
Speaking of, when's your half butter guard coming out?
It's already out. No. The question was... The question is... What are you talking shit? The question was... When would you use a half butterfly guard? So... It was in relation to the DVD, so I'll add this as a little freebie section. Basically, when the question could have been two things. It could have been...
The question was...
The question is... It could be two questions. It could be, when do you go to half guard? So that's basically when they're on their knees. That's a half butterfly guard. Or the question could have been, when do you actually put the butterfly hook in? And I would say that's once you get some upper body winning grips. So let's say you're playing half guard, your left leg is out, all your hands are out, but your right leg is in the half guard. I would get some sort of grips with my upper body where I'm like maybe underhooking the leg, or I have a grip on the arm, or I have a collar tie or a drag grip or something like that, and then I'll put the butterfly hook in. If you just have open grips and open position and you put the butterfly hook in, you're basically just playing a butterfly guard, but you've fallen over onto one side.
Right.
Like, which sounds a lot like half butterfly guard, but it's just the wrong timing to do it. Like,
right.
You put the hook in as a tool, like all these things, like calling it a guard, it's not really like a guard because it's just one like tool that you can use. And even like calling half butterfly a guard, it's just half guard. It's just being on your side as opposed to being set up. But it's basically just like, it's just another tool. We wouldn't call it like a whole position, like half butterfly guard like that necessarily, but specifically refers to if you're on your side and you're contemplating in putting in the butterfly hook, all that consists of half butterfly in my opinion.
God.
So anything that leads to like butterfly hooking whilst on your side, that would be a half butterfly guard. But basically engage the top half somehow with the hands so that when you put your butterfly hook in, you're not just getting like side smash, like your legs smashed together to one side as soon as you go for it, and you're not getting body locked. Like think if your knee is really high to your shoulder, then you can hand fight whatever freely without getting body locked. If you just put your butterfly hook in and your other leg is also a half guard and your hands are doing whatever, all they have to do is beat one elbow and they'll get to a body lock. You know what I'm saying? So you need either a knee shield.
You mean they can shove the elbow down and grab it across and poof.
Yeah, like you have either a knee up here somewhere blocking the body lock, or you have an elbow here, or you have some sort of upper body connection where they can't get a body lock. So
2-in-1 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Then you can shuffle your legs. You know what I mean? So you have to always be aware that every time you're in half butterfly, if you give them access to the tight waist, it's not looking good, basically.
That's what Rog told me about as well. You need to keep busy. If you're in the bottom guard, get your grips.
Yeah.
Always have grips.
Always be testing, just put your hand here, see what they do, put your hand here, there, so on, until you get your upper body grips, like let's say some sort of way that you know that they can't take a tight waist.
Yeah.
Basically, you need to prevent the tight waist, prevent the crossface,
At
prevent the
all
underhook.
costs.
Yeah. And then you can start to use your butterfly hook. So the butterfly hook, as I say, is much more attacking than just a knee shield. So you need some more, prophylaxis, defensive grips. Is that the word? Anyway,
I hope so.
It is now.
It is now.
Is that time?
It seems like it's time.
It's time.
It's time. That's an hour.
It's time.
We're going to do stuff now. We're going to go train weights. And then we'll just go to open mats. I think we'll just do jits at the open mats today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
All right, well, that
featuring my new hat, by the way. Thank you, North Face, for sponsoring me. It's not actually true.
Not yet.
Not yet. They could, though. Shout out Rain for sponsoring me. That is actually true.
Shout out Rain. So we've got just over 5,000 of watched hours on this channel. Guys, how do we support the podcast? Check out the show notes. We'll do it again. We did it at the start. We'll do it again. Make sure you like, subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, rate the podcast, share it to your friends, share it to your Instagram.
And just leave it running.
Follow us on Instagram. Just keep watching the YouTube stuff. Just leave it running.
We need another 5,000 hours.
Yeah, we need another 5,000 hours. Speak of the devil, Christian Ozbek. Let him in.
What a treat.
Let him in.
Oh, wow. I can't wait.
He's going crazy. Come in.
Hey, man. So good to see you.
What a perfect time to finish. Here he is, Christian Ozbek.
You still going?
Yeah, still going. Here he is. Come on.
You're here for the last...
Wait, come on. Defend yourself. You're in front of the camera. Don't sit there.
Let's sit there, man.
I'll go here. I'm defending myself from the allegations.
No, we'll finish it up there.
Goodbye.
Great to see you.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Stay for next week.
Goodbye.
It's not a dildo, John.
It's over.
Time.